this getting going on live on YouTube, seeing if my audio is working. Definitely. Testing mics as well at the same time. This is a different mic that I started to use, so I can have a little more flexibility. And this is the main mic that I was using before, and I need to go back to it. Okay, here we go. Those of you who are listening in, you can feel free to phone. Check this out easily. There's a lot to manage with this studio. A lot to manage. But here we go. Amen. Oh yes. Operating this thing is a little complicated, but here we go. Nice little beat to get going. Yes. Amen. Okay. So, one of the things I wanted to kind of get going a little bit later, but instead decided, let me just get going right now instead. Crash Marte, let me know if you could hear me in this mic good. And then I'm going to also test another mic. I don't know if I can, have a bit of a mess here. I'm going to turn off the other mic. Let me know how this mic sounds now. Tell me how this mic sounds right now. Yeah, we're live. What about this mic? I turned off the other microphone. Is this one lower? Do you hear me good on this one? I don't even know. Just trying to see if with this microphone you can hear me just as good or better. I don't know. Actually, let me jack it up a little bit. Yep, right there, a little higher, the volume. I guess I needed it to be a little higher. Bring them on video. Oh, I could bring you on video if I want, but not at this point, of course. Can you hear me good right now with this mic? Yes, just let me know. Just tuning in. Testing this out. Are you able to hear me good on this one? No answer yet. Major delay. Major delay. Actually. So I'm not sure, Ethan, if you can hear me good on this one. I'm not sure. Can you write something? Let me know. But I'm going to test this out like this anyway. Let me take this off. Okay. Yeah, so it's a lot of testing that I'm doing. So in a way, I'm glad that I'm doing this, that people can see what I go through here. Oh, you said it sounds perfect. Okay. Now my main camera is blurry. There we go. Now, there we go. Good. Yeah. So the autofocus on this camera. Okay, that sounds good, right? Good. You say it sounds perfect. Okay, good. All right, this is good because then I could remove this mic, put it to the side here, which is a great mic. I love the sound, but it's in the sound of the keyboard a little bit. Yeah. So what I'm gonna, well, it's in the way of the keyboard. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So now, oh man, and the keyboard now is like, oh, What a mess I got here. But it's cool. Anyway, people that are anyone that's watching, I am live right now.
Hey, I was supposed to be on the episode, but I'm going through a lot right now.
He's going through a lot right now, so he's
I'm out of commission for today's episode, but hey, listen,
okay.
the hand of God's gonna be over me. I'll be back.
Amen. He'll be
I'll
back.
eventually be on.
Haircut and all, hopefully. maybe not.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Think about it.
So in this live, I got a lot going on here because I had to get a lot of things together, and I love that we were able to hook up this mic. And I like that even though it's not the way the setup, but the smooth setup that we wanted, and a lot of people that do live streaming, you know what it looks like, when you're doing a studio. This is a super complicated studio. I'm always restarting this whole podcast, and because I don't have time, and things just log off, and I got to do it again. But this is something to become consistent in. So I'm putting that's one of the goals for this year, just to be really get consistent. But I can monitor my audio pretty good now. The problem with some of these cameras that I have is that they don't have good autofocus. That's the problem. But they look beautiful, and if I put on manual focus, it should be fine. So when you saw the thumbnail, right? Those of you that tuned in, one of the things that I'm doing is adding thumbnails to these lives, and this is one of the thumbnails that's right on there. Pimped. This is the thumbnail for today. Pimped by the experts. It's going to be a series, so I'm not sure if they're going to be sequential. The series. I'm not sure they're going to be one after the next, but pretty much what it is going to be the system reset, right? Looking at what's going on, what has happened to us as Americans, and what's happening to parts of the world as well. How the system, we're getting to a place where there's going to need to be a systems reset. I'm going to get back to continue discussing that a little bit. And one of the things is because and the reason why it needs to be serious is because it's just too much to talk, and I really wanted one of my sons or both sons to join, my wife to join. That way we could kind of have a dialogue, and next time we will. But this is a very complicated, matter that cannot just be discussed. Otherwise, we're just going to be scraping the surface. And one of the ways I was going to test these mics was to do that. I actually have a sound of scraping sound. Because a lot of this is just scratching the surface as to what we are, going to be dealing with. So right now, actually, I want to make sure. Let me check. Where am I live? Am I live on only one? Oh boy, I'm only live on one. Yeah. Oh no, I am online. I should be live on YouTube as well. Good. So that's good. So I'm live on both platforms right now. And one of the things I'm going to be attempting is to really kind of monitor these lives, just to see how things are going. Um, you know, um, the chat is hard to do because I'm kind of doing everything here now. Everything. I'm doing everything. And so, but I have a 3-camera setup. First camera here, that one over there, and then another one right over there. And have a nice little fancy setup. The third camera, I described this in one of the other lives. Like this one in particular, this camera, I'm able to kind of make it move. Look at it, boogie. Yeah, this one got great autofocus, and it's actually on an automatic slider. Beautiful, right? Nice little setup. Takes a long time to do it this way, but again, the thumbnail that I put together is pimped by the experts, and it's a series. I'm just starting the first one, system reset. And why it needs to reset? Because of the stealing, the destroying, and the killing. The stealing, killing, and destroying, right? The Bible says that, the devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. And the reason why systems need to reset, there's been some things have been spoken about, predicted, prophesied, depending where your what your faith element is, because again, those of us from Christianity that believe in the apostolic and the prophetic, we know that there are things that have been prophesied, but then you got people that are not of the faith, but they predicted certain things. They predicted crashes, economic collapses. They've predicted science, how it would advance in a way that it would diminish the value of human life, and we see things happening already. And we're going to get a little bit more into that. But one of the things, of course, one of the things I didn't do, which I should have done, is introduce myself, which is common sense, right? So Frank Mars, Marte in English is Mars. So consider myself an educator, social worker, essayist. That terminology, essayist, some people have probably never heard that. But studied history, have a degree in history, degree in education, also social work as well, master's in social work. And I love that essayist. People that are into history know what that is. I used to follow people that were essayists, and I write a lot of essays about social issues and things of that nature. And so, one of the things when you're an essayist, you're able to write essays, thought essays about certain issues, social issues, and things of that nature. And so, you know, one of the things is to really when I put things in writing. Now, I haven't published a lot of this stuff. I really haven't, but someday will. Someday will. I just thought, you know what? Why not just publish it through live, right? Even though in the future there's gonna be some editing, I'm doing the harder thing. This is much harder to do live and do it right than actually editing. Editing is a lot of work, but this is so much work. And so and social worker, right? I actually put my hat on too, right? So this is a hat my wife used the other day in a life within the church. But I've used this hat. I think I got this from Puerto Rico. I'm not sure, but I use it in the summer as well. The other thing besides SAS is that I'm a real life coach. You have people that are life coaches, right? But I call myself a real life coach, right? And what is that? A coach can be a person that looks at it and really is able to guard themselves from giving certain advice. I, as much as possible, try to be real as much as possible with a level of etiquette, but also I like to uncover the BS behind things. Because I used to be so politically correct, and as a social worker, boy, are social workers politically correct. They have like no. A lot of them are very. They don't say the truth. They don't take any positions on anything, and that's kind of what social workers are trained to do. But it's a flaw in social work because people then don't um talk about real thing. Oh, what is your decision? What is your choice? Whatever you want. You're a boy. You want to be a girl. Okay, you could be a girl. Come on. I mean, that's it's not real. It's even though people fall for things, right? Believe in certain things, support certain things. There's certain things that are just to the deep end, right? That's just kind of what it is. We see it how it plays out, later on in life, right? Real life coach. I was gonna put instead of real life coach, I was thinking player coach. You know, you know, and those of you that played sports, right, especially baseball and softball, especially, have what's called player coach. In Major League Baseball, there was a guy, Pete Rose. He should have been a Hall of Famer. They didn't pick him for the Hall of Fame because, he gambled, even though he deserves it, the way he played. Of course, it's not legal fully to play, but the guy was always playing to win. It's not. I don't know if he played to lose in a certain way. I don't know what proof they had. But a player coach, what I'm saying is that he actually used to coach, but he also went on the baseball field at the same time. He used to play, I think, first base, 300 hitter. They used to call him Charlie Hustle. Those of you that follow baseball way back in the 80s and 70s, maybe early 90s, he played. But he was a coach, and there were times he put himself in. Crazy. Like, how, you're running a major league baseball team, but you're also batting up. You're also in the field. You're also in the game. That is crazy to do that. I kind of find myself as a player coach. It's a little crazy to be a social worker, right? A person of ministry. You know, I didn't put it there. You know, real life coach, and the reason why I put real life coach is because it encompasses a lot of things. You know, ministry work, people that are pastors. I'm a pastor as well, and so. But when you're there, right, you're not just preaching a sermon, but you're also saying this is the reality of life. You take a position that it may be incontroversial, a little controversial, but you take the position that the Bible tells you in common sense, right? So, you know, so that's why I put real life because people got they got there's fake life coaches. There's coaches that just take safe positions and really jeopardize the team, right? Jeopardize the whole squad, you know. And so that's what I am, you know. So, let's say I don't know. I may edit this a little bit because of the testing from before, but yeah. So um, one of the things that I want to do, right, is kind of go over in some of these things, you know. Like I said at the very beginning, pimp, right? Pimp by the experts, right? Why are we pimp by the expert? What is a pimp? What is a pimp? Let's just start there. We know if we want to get um, clean up the language a little bit, a pimp is a person, right? When let's look at the dirtiest part, a person that prostitutes folks, men or women. And a pimp is the one that is an enforcer, but also abuses people in their authority and enslaves them through whatever. Sex, normally that's what a pimp is known for. But the reality is that there is a lot of pimping going on, a lot more pimping going on than what people think. Right? They're experts in every field. And if you look at this, right? If you look at this, let me take that off there. Um, the experts that run the economy, experts that run education, experts that run criminal justice system, experts that run sports, even people that are experts that have been involved in civil rights and things like that. They have benefited. Many people have benefited calling themselves experts and hustling people to be able to take over and make a living and a real cushy living. Many of them have become millionaires, right? And are peddling certain things. And if you look at this, what are some of the other pictures that are there? You have the hand, right? The robotic hand with a calculator. So the experts in technology, in robotics and things like that, experts in medicine, look all the way to the right. You know, if you look all the way to the right, actually, let me do something really fancy schmancy here that I'm going to do. I want to be able to use this little pen here. You know, hopefully it works because sometimes this stuff don't be working. It get glitchy. So, but again, here we go. That is cool. Here we go. So if you look at right here, this is the American Medical Association symbol, right? And if you look at the symbol, it has like wings, right? The staff, and then you have here the two serpents, the snakes. Now, people say that this is made, right? Compared to when Moses was in the desert with the people of Israel, and then they were being stung by snakes, and if they looked at the serpent, the image of the serpent, that they were healed. But the problem is that this symbol has evolved. Could do a whole study and training just on this. This symbol has completely evolved. That the occult uses this symbol. Cults use this symbol. If you look at just the wings, right? The wings, the way they look, the Nazi party used. If you look at some of the Nazi flags, that's what they've used. Some of their architecture, that type of wing, right? Does not look angelic. If you look at the tips, do not look. It don't look nice. You know, and there were also occult tribes that used to use this, which did human sacrifice and things of that nature. We could go all into that. What's the other one? If you look at this one again, let's look at this right over here. Here's another one. Okay, the whole theory of evolution. You know that many people have believed that we came from apes to Homo erectus to Homo sapiens, right? But if you look, okay, here's the first tool, like a stick or something, right? Here you have a bag, which is really a bag of tricks, right? And here you have a trash can, right? Recycled. So a lot of these things are recycled over centuries. A lot of these philosophies, a lot of these um, experts that have been pimping people for centuries, they are recycled materials. These things are recycled. Recycled. This stuff is not new. Completely recycled. Look at the recycle bin right there. And again, this is why you also see here the maps, right? Because it's not just here, it's worldwide. This stuff is happening differently in different countries throughout the world. And if we're going to dive into each of these topics separately: economy, education, criminal justice. There's a lot to say about each one. Now, in some of my lives in the morning, because again, part of this, I am working right now out of Franken Studio, right? I'm working out of the studio right now. If that looks pretty cool right there, right? Look at the logo for the studio, Franken Studio, like Frankenstein, because it is a mixture of different um, elements to get the studio together. Yeah, so you can even put in the chat if you like this logo. I think it's cool. Look at that. Look at that. I mean that looks cool. I like it. I like it. So yeah, so just check it out. Let me know. That's a design that I was able to put together. Um, and the program in general, is moral politics, Frank Mars, and there will be other people, and that looks pretty cool too. So that's kind of like the main logo that I've been using. It's been an evolution. If you can look at the logos differently in different places because they've evolved over time. Um, and I even had one with a microphone. It looked very different. Um, but again, the Frank's Moral Politics is the general broad one, and then you have the morning drives that I'm doing. That's part of the doing. Some of you have been that's what I've been doing more, not in the studio here because it's just taking. I don't have enough time to set. Now I'm beginning to set up again. But again, if you look at these topics, just to go back, right? I'm going to be diving into these topics not only during these Franken Studio lives at the studio, but also during these morning drives, to work, and some of them are the ride home, the more, and so, and some of this definitely want to be able to have some guests to come in and be able to articulate some of the experiences that they've had in some of this stuff. So, just to go back, um, the experts have been really pimping. They had a group back in the days. It was a balada group, Pimpinela. I don't know, those of you that Spanish speaking remember. They sang really good. I think it was a couple. I don't know if they were a married couple or siblings, but you know, but that was the kind of their name, right? I'm not talking about the singing, sweet singing, but some of us, many of us have been pimpinela. In other words, we've been wooed. We've been wooed by the experts. We've been impressed by their intellect. We've been impressed by the universities they've gone to. We've been impressed by their talent. We've been impressed with all of these kind of things that they do. But the problem is that this is not pimpinela, nice, sweet thinking, singing. This is pimpinela from being pimped. That something sinister is behind the scene. That something unclean is happening. That something unholy is happening. And this is why, part of this is that the experts, right? Um, not all, like you got, for instance, doctors, right? The when it comes to the American Medical Association, doctors very often pimp medication. They pimp it, and people become then addicted to medication. We've seen people that have been famous, like Michael Jackson and others that have died with too much psychiatric meds, right? And we see that sometimes actually, my late mother-in-law passed because of prescription. You know what really messed her up when they looked at the autopsy. You know, for her, you know, her organs were, you know, messed up because of the medications. And so doctors, you know, are not really, forget about being a naturalist or they bringing a natural way of prescription. They go after you. They unlicense you. So many doctors, they really get into the profession in a well meaning. But the power of the pharmaceutical industry is amazing in the power it has. And so the people that are the experts, they're being pimped. Many of the doctors themselves are being pimped, like some of the educators in schools, they're being pimped by the regulators and the people that are putting together education policy and things like that. Because again, as I put here, the pimping, right, is by those that are cornering the market. In other words, those that are on the very, very tippity top. Um, But as I, you know, if you look at the bottom, right, there says, but the experts, you know, they're not really experts. What they do is that they take excerpts. You know, what is an excerpt? An excerpt is a piece of something and they manipulate it. You know, so when you see a whole thing written and you say, like, give me an excerpt from that, give me a piece of that. You may want to get the most catchy thing, the slogan, the most catchy phrase, because that's what's going to stick. And then you peddle that and then you run that and you market that again and again and again. So people that corner markets, normally what they do, they take excerpts, right, with their degrees or whatever they have, and then they put themselves in a position of cornering the market, and then they become known as the expert. So so even a doctor that went to school, and I remember you know, during the whole time of COVID, if if you had a doctor that spoke against it, forget it. They deplatformed them on social media, you name it. Now you have people, right? People that were very anti-Trump. You have people like Zuckerberg on Facebook and all these other people, even Bill Gates, people that ran social media platforms. Um, Now you have them trying to meet with Trump. Isn't that crazy? They were so against him. Now they're going to get, now they're trying to meet with him. What does that tell you? You know, it's just amazing. And people should see this and be like, huh, I don't know, do we really trust? Uh, you know, because really people's rights were violated. There were many people that got strikes on social media, Facebook, YouTube. They were targeted. They were not even allowed to say anything. And they said free speech and all of that. But it was really violating people's free speech. And that's why many people left some of these platforms, went to other ones like Rumble. You know, you have TikTok, right? That the government is going after, right? The experts in government are going after TikTok, yeah, TikTok has its issues, right? But let me tell you something that I like about TikTok that's kind of weird. I see DJs get away with murder there. DJs are playing copywritten music till the cows come home. I don't even know if they get strikes. I heard they may, but they just, a lot of DJs say, you know, I'm just getting into TikTok a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? It got a lot of stuff that I don't like. I'm just scrolling. I'm like, that's good. People should be able to play whatever, you know, as long as it's not super obscene. But I'm like, oh, maybe that's one of the reasons why the government, the United States government, is going after TikTok. You know, maybe playing written material and besides other things, taking people's information, which is a big issue. But a lot of it, I think, the experts in government, what it is that they can't really control it. This is the issue. It's about control. If they can control you, they're gonna regulate you. They'll control you through the regulation. And I think people have fallen for stuff like that. I used to fall for that many, many years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, there should be another policy, another regulation. And then I learned, no, it's about control. Let me give you another one about the economy, right? And we'll get deeper into it. Why do we have to hire people to do our taxes so we could keep the money that we work for? It's gotten to a point now people have waking up. It's like, damn, taxes just keep going up. It's never enough. It's never enough. Never enough. So what they do, experts, is they take an excerpt, a piece of something, and they manipulate that. Crazy. That's that's it. That's how things work. But a lot of us don't even know that that we're being hustled. And a lot of us, hallelujah. Amen. I see some people. Okay, I'm beginning to kind of check this out a little bit. So and that's the thing. I think we gotta wake up. I think we have to wake up, right? Actually, right now, I am on. I think I am on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. I am on a YouTube channel called Moral Politics. Yes, it's called Moral Politics. It has the logo, kind of like what I started. I forgot how it looks. It'll come to me, but anyway, but it's there. But I'm under Moral Politics in YouTube. And so again, just to kind of go back into this part about the manipulation of the experts, and a lot of us have fallen for this stuff. A lot of us have really, really fallen for it. Bait, hook, and sinker. Bait, hook, and sinker. Some of us really have trusted. We really, really have trusted these people thinking, that they're going to do a good job. And what they have done in every field, just about, I put in the chat, even the environmental movement, you know, um, that's one of the most dangerous movements. Again, and a lot of them, you have politicians that go to bed with the regulators, some of these people that are unelected. You got the elected that work with the unelected that are even more powerful. And in these scientific, the medical, the media, right? The environment, and some of these I read before, the justice system, the education system, and even the faith community. I'm a person of faith. I've seen it so much even in the faith community. The debacle and the disaster of the disorder in the faith community is incredible. The control of people. And then you also have some that let people live however the heck they want to. You have that both extremes. You have people that are marrying people the same gender and within a church, Christian church. Whoa. Not to say you can't do it through government or whatever, We're not, but I can't believe how you could be a person reading the scriptures and do that. That makes absolutely no sense. There's no foundation at all. You don't even have to be you just a middle school education to let you know that once you go past a certain thing, you really are manipulating what the Bible says, But anyway, not a popular position to take on, but it definitely takes a level of honesty to see that what is truth is truth. But this is how it's happened, and this is what I was saying before. It has happened because we have relinquished our authority. We've let people that are in the office and other people with regulations kind of go amok and not really stopped it or shut it down. Going against people that support some of these policies and things like this. What does relinquish mean? Relinquish means, and this is the power. This is the power of, if you look at the AMA symbol, right? American Medical Association symbol, when you look at the occult element of things, right? One of the powers of the occult element of things, right? When you look at this symbol, one of the dirty secrets is that authority is taken or actually relinquished when people voluntarily say, you could do it for me. You know better than I. You're the experts. That's actually giving license. That's giving license to and when that happens, it's done permissibly. Like if you look at the Garden of Eden, the serpent, Satan used the serpent, right? And spoke to Eve and then Adam about, if you eat this fruit, you will be like gods. And so there had to be a a decision to say, yes, I will do what you say. I will take on your instruction. I will take on your recommendation. I will take that on. When you do that, you're relinquishing the position, or you're giving up your right, your sovereignty. You're giving up your sovereignty. What's a sovereign? You know, you, that you can make decisions separately and not be influenced. So when you relinquish, it's that you are voluntarily giving up your right. And when people are into manipulation at a high level, and the cult level of working, it's done through getting people to do it voluntarily, not through force. Can there be a force later? Yes. But the main thing in power that these systems acquire is by us voluntarily giving up our voice, giving up our right voluntarily. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's not by force. It's, initially the force comes later. The force comes later, but you have to, there's an initial stage to get the masses to agree, is through relinquishing, which is voluntary. Voluntary. It's voluntary. That's how it is. It's voluntary. And I think a lot of us have been drinking Kool-Aid for so long that it just tastes good. It's hot. I need me some Kool-Aid. And we've gotten used to it, right? Because the thirst has built up in a way that we want, and we give up. What happened in when Jesus fasted 40 days, 40 nights? What did the devil do? He offered him food. He offered him the kingdom. But Jesus was thirsty. He was hungry. You see, the desire, the most basic desires are given. And that's why we relinquish. What happened in the cross, just wanted a little bit of drink, and they gave him hyssop, if I remember, form of vinegar, just so he could suffer more and die. But that's the thing. The thing is that we relinquish and we give it up because, and I'll be I'll be really honest. I think what's happening with a lot of us, and this is one of the strategies is that the authority, the power we have, we relinquish it because we are too trusting of their expertise, right? We trust too much. But this is one of the biggies, and it's because you were dummied down. Some of us really say, that's too complicated for me. I don't really understand that. Let somebody else that studied that do it. You know what? You've been dummied down, and you've put yourself down so much that you actually have relinquished or given up your authority because you think you're stupid, because you think you're not intelligent. And then you've taken these people that all they do is play gymnastics with words from a university, or because they're good at the gab. Let me tell you, Moses, he stuttered. He actually stuttered. He did not speak well. And so to relinquish, because and guess what? But you get dummied down because you don't learn. You don't, some of us do our certain things. We don't open a book. We don't want to learn certain different things. We say we're one we're one dimensional. We do one or two things, and that's all we do. It's good to be great at one or two things. I'm not great at any one thing, but I invest a lot of time in many different things. I will go into a room and find 10 people that are way better than me in one of the things that I did. But you're darn skippy that I would touch a lot of lives there in some way, because I've done so many different things. I get bored fast. That's one. And two, I like it as a challenge. And three, I want to know a little bit. Right now, I don't want to know to the level of like Eve wanted to learn to be a god. No, I'm not there. No way. Not. I'm not saying that. But I want to. I mean, I want to. I want to learn a little bit because I know that my mind works. Your mind works. Our bodies work better. Our intelligence, we become more and more intelligent. And it's a way to exercise your mind, your brain, but it also makes you, it doesn't make you naive to things too. It doesn't make you dumb to certain things. And you've been education system for a lot of us have dummied us down. The way we're spoken to, dummied us down. And then the gap that a lot of these quote unquote experts have gotten us to say, oh, they could do it. I trust them because you've been dummied down. But then those are the people that have these experts that have been pimping us and people, and we've relinquished our authorities, and we're in a situation in this nation and many parts of the world where we have where it's going to probably be a place. We're probably going to get to a place of what it says here, right? System reset. That the system will need to be fully reset. And you've gotten people talking about that, talking about the system being reset, and it sounds scary, and it is scary because what that is it's that the system can collapse. The economy can end up collapsing. It can actually end up collapsing because so many of us trusted all these experts, and what they've done instead is throwing more taxes on us. That's what they've done. They got new taxes to throw on us, so then we got to pay. You see? Now, when you work for government, you're okay. A lot of people in government, some people, many people in government, many of us are not in government, paying into their retirement, which I think is modest income for a lot of people that work certain very key jobs in government, and I think that's great. But you have many that are in government that are unnecessary, especially in DC. Uh, you know, and so that's some of the things that are going to be coming. Some of these cuts. Of course, we don't want essential workers and systems to be shut down. We don't want that to a level. But for instance, you have the taxing system, which is completely unfair, which we could do a whole 2 weeks talking just about that, about the experts in that system that have really, really been playing gymnastics with the intellect of a lot of us, because a lot of us don't even understand. You know, every 6 months there's a new thing, or 3 months something with taxes. We don't even know how our taxes are going to look. We don't even know how much we're going to get back. Some of us, because you have a house, you have children, you have other things. You can come up with ways to save, but why should we? Why should we be saving or looking and strategically thinking of so many ways to keep some of the money we work for? It's just crazy how a lot of these folks in government are just always strategizing, thinking new ways to take your money, take my money. Crazy, right? Crazy. So, even though I'm not really monitoring this that well, let me know in the chat if you have any thoughts, because it's kind of tough to do this by myself. But I'm beginning the flow here. I was gonna put some videos up, but I don't think I am. I'm gonna keep it brief. But I do want to just bring attention to that part. The system reset may be required because of the killing, the stealing, and the destroying. And the destruction that's been going on and on and on. I think I'm going to kind of conclude there. Um, and this thumbnail, I am going to use it for other things. This thumbnail, I'm definitely going to use it for other. Probably going to be the same one. Just put episode one, two of, I don't know, episode two of whatever. Episode one of one. Um, and kind of like keep it moving, right? We're gonna kind of keep it moving. I'm not sure how many, but definitely I want to be able to add a couple of other people, to be able to talk about this. I am gonna check to see how this came out on YouTube, Facebook. But the thing is, I used my hat today, yay, and I was able to um you know demonstrate a little bit of the logos that I've put together so far, which are pretty nice. Um, Today we removed. My wife did all the work, removed the Christmas tree, uh, and we were rocking it for a little longer. It was all dried up. We had to get rid of it. Actually, isn't a whole way. I got to get rid of it in a few. But it was good. But it was actually a smaller tree than we've gotten in the past, and it actually was the perfect size. We're like, whoa, And right now, even cleaning up how we're doing, we're resetting. The year just started. We got to look at what things are we resetting for our lives, what resetting we're doing for our families. One of my resets this year was to uh, get this podcast off the ground a little bit more consistently. And actually, I kind of have been more consistently in the morning drives. This studio part, I want to be more consistent. Definitely invite people here to kind of do like a round table. Those lights in the back are going to stay. It's kind of year-round Christmas lights, the ones in the back, adds to the podcast and stuff like that. And but I hope you like the views of the camera, that one, this camera, the side one, and definitely the upgrade is this one right here that moves. If you notice, it's sliding this camera. I'm able to control it. I could put automatic, but I'm kind of doing it so that I could press the button. And and I had some audio issues, that I had to fix. That's why it took me a while. But may go live later today again. Later tonight. I know there's NFL games going on. We may go back to that. I was going to put the videos up, but there's a lot more to discuss in this topic. And with this, we really can't put TV, even though I like to have the TV on, we can't put the music or anything, even commercials, because then with Facebook and YouTube, it kind of, lets you know that it's copywritten stuff, even though the visual part in the back should be fine. So let me know what you think about the topic today. And, feel free to share and share and share and share. And we're definitely one nation. And I still say under God. God bless you all. Beautiful. That's the topic. More than one. It's going to be a series. Different people going to join in. Yes. Out of Franklin Studio. More politics. God bless you all. Have a good under God.